Let's read a book with Teacher Clau. So, come on, let's start.
Hola a todos. Antes de que lean este cuento, quiero que tomen un dato en consideración. Como pueden ver, estoy en el proceso final de los frenillos. Por ende, tengo los frenillos y un aparato aquí en la boca que lo que hace es prevenir que mi lengua toque los dos dientes de adelante, que es uno de los movimientos más importantes del idioma inglés para la pronunciación. Entonces, con eso en cuenta, quiero que sepan que algunas palabras pueden que no suenen tan claras o como la pronunciación pues perfecta que debería ser. Pero recuerden que en el canal tenemos todo un playlist con más de 200 lecturas de cuentos donde pueden practicar la pronunciación en inglés, y en esos pues no tengo estos aparatos en la boca. Entonces, con esa consideración vamos a iniciar la lectura.
Today we are going to read The Dinosaur Who Discovered Hamburgers, Part 3, Legend of the Secret Sauce. The air buzzed with revving engines and the aroma of cheeseburgers. The Dino Monster Truck Rally was the biggest event of the year in the dino world. Scout, inventor of the cheeseburger, was there to make sure the most important cheeseburger he had ever made was prepared perfectly. He was making a cheeseburger for the king of dinosaurs, King Rexcellent. The king, seated in his royal tent, was a fan of both monster trucks and Scout's cheeseburgers. It was a perfect day and he was eagerly awaiting his meal. Scout served his perfectly grilled cheeseburger to the king, and just as the king was about to take a bite, a royal messenger arrived. The crowd's cheer turned to whispers as the king received an urgent scroll. The scroll held bad news. The kingdom's rivers of moss, tar, and ketchup were drying up. This news threatened the hamburger as we knew. The king shared the dire situation with the scout and told him there might be a solution to the problem. There was an ancient tale of Iceland with extraordinary flavors and a legendary waterfall of sauce. The king's great-grandfather Tyrant, as Sirius Rex, had gave him a medallion that held the secret location of the waterfall. King Rexcellent handed Scout the medallion and said, "Scout, find the secret waterfall to solve the sauce crisis." Scout accepted the challenge, ready to complete the mission. He prepared his gear, boarded his plane, and was ready to soar toward the coordinates marked on his old wrinkly map. Scout followed the coordinates on his map to what appeared to be a thunderstorm of clouds ahead. As he passed through the clouds, his compass started spinning wildly. Scout was lost in the thunderstorm and didn't know which way he was heading. He brought the compass up to take a closer look and realized that the dial became steadier when it was near the king's medallion. He tried holding the medallion together with the compass, and the compass immediately became steady and pointed in a specific direction, almost like it was being submarine. Scout emerged from the clouds and saw 1,000 islands clustered together in the ocean below. Could this be it? Could this be the legendary islands of sauces? Scout flew over an island that was very green and noted the green was moving almost like it was a sauce. It smelled sweet, so Scout swooped in and grabbed a taste. Of course, sweet flavor and hints of pickle. This was the legendary relish jungle. It was a bit too sweet for a hamburger, so Scout carried on. Scott saw what looked like a white beach and thought it looked unusual. As he got closer, he saw it was not sand at all, but a thick paste. He grabbed a bit to taste. Of course, this was the legendary mayonnaise beach. Scott thought it would be a bit too creamy from a hamburger, so he continued on. Scott flew towards an island with a coast that was covered in black rocks. He was starting to get the idea that each of these islands had different legendary flavors. So he swooped in and immediately sneezed. Of course, this was the legendary Pepper Cove. Scott still felt he was getting close, so he continued on. Scott continued to fly over each island and found different ingredients, but nothing that would be a good addition to the hamburger. However, he noticed that the waves from each island went mysteriously flowing towards one in the middle. Scott flew over the island and saw a big rock formation, but no waterfall. He landed to take a closer look. As he approached the rocks, he saw something that looked to be the shape of a melon. He placed the medallion in the opening and voila! The waterfall started flowing down. It had creamy texture, tasted a bit sweet and tangy, and had a little bit of a spice to it, but the flavors blended very well together. Of course, this was the legendary secret sauce that King had told him about. Scout collected as much of the secret sauce as he could and jumped in his plane. Scout flew back past, he flew directly back home. Scott called the two smartest dino scientists he knew, Dr. Ham and Dr. Chi, to help with the legendary sauce from the Dawson Islands. They helped him mix, taste, and refine the mysterious sauce, until at last they found the perfect balance. The legendary sauce was unlike anything they had ever tasted. It was tangy yet sweet, rich yet refreshing, complex yet utterly satisfying. Dr. Ham and Dr. Chi came up with that they thought was the perfect name to describe it. Creamy tomato relish tangy twisty sauce. Scott thought the name was a bit too long and suggested they name it Dawson Island Sauce instead. Dr. Ham and Dr. Chu were amazed at Scott's genius. Word of Scott's new creation spread like wildfire. Dinosaurs from every corner of the land went to his hamburger stands to taste the legendary sauce. The stands were so busy they had to rush to get customers in and out. Scott looked around at the happy faces and thought, of course, this is what it's all about. The king took a bite of this new hamburger and announced the crisis was solved. For the first time in history, he gave a food 2 thumbs up. The Velociraptor food guide awarded it an unprecedented 12 claws up. It was so good they had to use the claws on their hands and feet. The tale of Scott and the Dawson Island sauce became a legend, passed down through generations. It was a story of courage, curiosity, and discovery. Scott felt happy and complete. The hamburger was safe and all was right in the world.
¿Te gustó esta lectura? Pues dale like y suscríbete al canal.
Recuerda que tienes una lista de reproducción donde encontrarás más de 200 lecturas para practicar el idioma inglés. También tenemos otras listas de reproducción como vocabulario, tiempos verbales, phrasal verbs y demás. Así que hazle clic en la campanita para que no se te olvide ninguna notificación que yo haga. Ahora, si quieres clases de inglés con Teacher Clau, pues entra a www.teacherclau.com y encontrarás todos mis cursos. Así que nos vemos muy pronto.